Talk about getting ready for this week. What challenges does Stanford present?
They're a Pac-12 program. They're just really well coached. It looks like they're a little bit beat up right now, but they're very well coached, and I've coached against those guys a long time. I know they'll be ready to play.
Do you like playing Stanford? I mean, like you said, you faced them a lot, and
Yeah, I mean it's a storied program, and I know Coach Shaw and Lance Sanderson. Those guys are excellent coaches, and in spite of whatever their record is or what the roster is, they'll have their guys ready to play Saturday, and we'll have to go play well to have a chance to win.
As Houston goes back to Stanford this week, I'm curious, what do you think his season's been like, and has his role been what you expected it to be?
He got in a little bit last game and did well with those reps, so there's a chance he might play a little more this game. He's been a good special teams player this year, and there is a possibility he'll play in a few more things this week because he did well in the game Saturday.
What has he brought to the program? Just what have you seen from him overall?
He's just a good guy to be around. He's a mature guy, and brings a lot of positive energy.
As you look at what the team was able to do kind of last week and then building and kind of improving as the game went on, what was the difference? How did they start getting things to click a little bit more consistently?
When we started huddling and they didn't know our plays anymore. We scored 4 straight touchdowns when we started huddling. That's it. Yeah.
Does that game go on more than? I mean, we see the signals.
Yeah.
And stuff. Does that game go on a
Yeah,
lot?
we took some measures to. We thought we had the signals disguised well enough that they wouldn't solve it, but by the third play of each series, they usually had us, and so after a while, I just said, okay, let's huddle, and so we just huddled up, and then we scored 4 straight times.
I think you mentioned the coach's corner yesterday that the plan was kind of play Hinckley a little bit at first, and then Chris Brooks to finish it off.
Yeah, we tried to get Hinckley 10 carries in the first half, and then we were going to feature Chris more as the game went on.
Do you have any similar plan this week in terms of how you're going to use the running backs?
Not yet.
You're going to share that?
Not yet. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, I wouldn't share it anyway. But we don't. But we don't have a plan yet. Right now we're just sort of formulating the game plan, and then we'll evaluate how everybody practices, and then you sort of come up with the rotation based on how people practice. I still believe that competition in practice is important.
Sorry, just to follow up on Hinckley last week, was that because of how he practiced, or was it carryover for Boise State, or what was?
Yeah, we just thought he gave us a spark in the Boise game, and he hasn't had a lot of opportunities this year, and so my thought was, let's get him some carries and be able to evaluate him better. We need a larger body of work to, evaluate him.
After this week, there'll be kind of a new thing on the off-season calendar, not off-season, but the calendar, that transfer portal windows. I'm curious, do you guys already have maybe areas or positions that you feel like you're going to attack when that transfer portal window opens up, and guys you might be targeting? Can't obviously speak on them.
Yeah, I mean,
a plan
don't have specific guys we're going to target, but I think with the portal, you always consider a difference maker at any position, and so that could be anywhere. Kingsley, we didn't necessarily need O lineman when we took Kingsley, but he's a difference maker, so we did. But you always consider any difference maker, and then any positions that maybe you're a little thin, you might consider the portal, but we don't have specific names yet that we're looking at.
When you talk about Kingsley, obviously at that offensive line spot, I think coming into the year you felt that that group was maybe Big 12 ready, I believe you said.
Yeah.
Are you still bullish about the outlook of this O-line the rest of this year and into the future?
Our O-line's played well this year. I'm proud of those guys. They're good. It's a good group. They've blocked well, and they've done a good job.
How's just from personnel side on there? Barrington and Kime, are they done for the year?
Yes, both of those guys are out for the season. They've had surgeries, both hand or arm or wrist related. Nothing too serious. They're going to be back soon, but out for the last 2 games.
How about Blake Freeland? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's okay. I didn't even know there was something.
Oh, I just requested to talk to him, and they said he was unavailable. So I thought,
oh, yeah, he's not hurt. He practiced. He's practicing, did everything today. Yeah, I don't know.
You've butted heads on the recruiting trail with Stanford probably for 20 years.
Yeah.
What has that been like, and does that add any motivation for this game for the Cougars?
They're very good recruiters. They're hard to beat. A Stanford offer is tough to beat. who wouldn't want their kid to go to school there? It's a good place. I think it's a good school, and they're good recruiters. I mean, they sort of like us. They zero in on a smaller pool of guys than most schools do, and then go after them. And so, I think we'll always overlap a little bit in recruiting with them, but it's probably not quite as many kids as people would think. We go head to head on a guy or two each year.
Do you think you'll overlap with them a little bit less going to the Big 12?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. Remains to be seen, but I think we'll still come up against them a couple guys a year, and either in state here or maybe in California.
Any characteristics stand out from your days at Utah with a Stanford defense?
Yeah, I've known Lance Anderson for a long, long time. Steve Clark's coached with him before. I mean, he's a diligent, squared away guy. I mean, he'll know no matter how many injuries they have or whatever, he'll know every one of our tendencies. He'll be dialed into our personnel groupings and the things we do well, what our strengths and weaknesses are, and he'll have a good game plan. And he's an excellent coach, so we have to be ready.
You didn't get on the plus side. Jaron's been able to stay healthy enough to play in just about every game. But
Yeah.
on the flip side, Jacob hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. Got to hand the ball off a few times. Is that a concern moving forward? I mean, you see him every day in practice, but is that a concern? Lack of game reps if Jaron decides that he's done?
I mean, it would be a concern if Jaron gets hurt in this game.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
But I don't know what to do about it. I mean, I'm glad that Jaron's been able to play all year, and that's been a positive.
Is it too premature to ask if you'll go out in the portal for a quarterback?
Yeah, premature.
Did somebody already asked
No, I don't know
That's
yet.
one of Mitch's questions. Usually.
But my standard answer to the portal is difference makers are what you're looking for. Someone that has an impact, immediate impact at any position.
How much time during a week can you really even spend looking at the portal or thinking about the portal?
0 right now. We have other people in the building that have time to do that. We're all about Stanford, just trying to win this game.
Okay. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Happy to